Just what do you do with all these fabric scraps? I'm going to show you a cute scrap busting project to make fabric fringe bunting using ribbons, selvages and even tiny scraps like this. Hello, I'm Jen and this is Artisan Stitch. I had an idea to make a fringe for the bottom of this hanging, but when I'd finished I couldn't stop and I made lots of it, and lots. For the base you'll need some tape or ribbon. This is a ribbon which normally comes round fat quarters. For mine I used the seams I'd cut from a duvet cover after I cut it up to make tote bags. This would normally go in the bin, so I've saved it from landfill. You'll also need a glue stick and your sewing machine. So I have assembled some scraps here. Everything from larger pieces to really quite small pieces. Even this, I mean, what else would you be able to use that for? That would normally go straight into the bin. And these little trimmings from the edge. So anything I can save from landfill is good news for me. So I'm first going to cut them into, depending on how big you want to make your bunting, I suppose, but little pieces like this. If it's just for a fabric fringe, little bits of ribbon. So I've cut them into approximately maybe about 2 inches long. You could make yours longer. They don't all have to be the same length. By maybe about 1 centimetre or 1.5 centimetres, about ½ an inch wide. Now you could leave them as rectangles, you could cut them slightly triangular. So let me show you this piece here. Now it's too short to cut it in half, but what I will do, I'm going to cut this lengthways through the centre. Then I might actually leave it longer. If you think it's too long, I would actually cut this diagonally like that. And I suppose you could even use that piece. Who says they have to be regular in shape? Here's a little selvage piece. Again, normally they would go in the bin. I'm going to cut that like that. And just cut that to a point. And I may even use that piece too. So I'm just going to carry on until I've got a bundle of pieces. Go this piece I can cut. Again, if I cut this at an angle, I'll go like that. I've got 2 slightly longer pieces. I could trim them up if I wanted to, or leave them the way they are. I have my fabric scraps prepared, cut into tiny pieces. So I'm going to grab my glue stick, take my piece of seam or whatever your tape or ribbon is for the base. I'm just going to apply a bit of glue. Now you could do this in sections, so you could put glue on quite a long piece. Okay, and take your first strip and just stick it down. So if you work quickly now, there's a little piece of silk, shove it down, tiny bit there. I'm varying my colours, so I have an even distribution of colour, but you can group them, or as I say, you might want to make it monotone. I don't want to have, you know, a clump of one colour. There's also the pattern of the fabric as well, which is quite nice. So here, there we go. I love a bit of polka dot. So you will carry on gluing the next section. You can do maybe 6 or 8 inches, maybe up to 20 centimetres at a time. as long as you work quickly before it dries. There we go. It can be quite therapeutic. I suppose you could do this while you were sitting watching the television. There is, I think this has come from a little tie which has got chopped off a garment. So, as I say, anything at all, anything you can see from landfill is a bonus. Right, so I'm going to carry on until I've filled my piece of tape. If you come to the end and you want to make it longer, so had I filled all the way along, you just get your next piece of tape. It doesn't even have to be the same thing, and you can just glue that on top like that, or you could stitch it on first and then carry on gluing along your second piece. Once you've completed your first layer, you could just stitch it and be done with it, or we can go back and put more on. So we can go back and do another layer. So again, on with the glue stick. I'm just running right the way along. Now this time, everywhere that you have two pieces meeting, pop another piece so it covers up. You could of course have overlapped the first layer, and again I'm taking care to distribute my colours so I have an even spread of colour. So there we have a pink and a green and a sort of mint colour, so I'm going to put this bluey purple. And again we've got this nice black, so where we have maybe white and blue, here I'm going to put another piece of black polka dot. Now any ribbons, little pieces of ribbon or lace, I like to save those for the top layer. You could, I suppose you could do as many layers as you like, depending which run out first. Your fabric scraps, your glue stick, or your patience. So there we go, pop that there. And there's some more lace. Lace is lovely to gives it texture. So you could use sparkly ribbon or any little pieces of pom-pom trim. And I'm going to pop this red piece here now. That red piece is a bit too long, but I can trim it afterwards. So I would continue to work along the full length until I completed the length that I wanted. Now I would give that a few minutes to dry. It doesn't take very long, 10 minutes or so, and I'll be back. So I've come to my machine, got my lovely DX7 out today. So you could use a straight stitch, I suppose. I'm going to choose a zigzag, but if you have more stitches at your command, then you could use anything, I suppose. So I'm just going to stitch along on the right side, but as you feel, you can feel where your tape is. You could stitch on the tape side if you wanted to. I'm going to do a little bit back stitch just to secure my thread. And I'm just stitching along the top, catching in the layers, tucking any ends in so I don't catch the little tail ends as well. So there we go, just a zigzag stitch, small zigzag, fairly big ones I think, but I'm going to have a little play with some of these other stitches. This one I've done earlier, I've used a sort of diamond pattern. I think it's a really fun project to do. My little niece loves the bunting I made her for her bedroom. So have fun and get using up all those scraps, saving them from landfill. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel, pressing the bell for notifications. Thank you for watching.